The intersection of NDEs and Spiritism. In the United States, there's been literature and research about near-death experiences for quite a few years now. There are many stories on the internet detailing what occurs for people that have had a NDE. The stories could have been lifted from one of the many books Psychograph by Francisco Chico C. Xavier. Xavier is a follower of Spiritism, which has been around since the 1850s, founded by Allan Kardec. Spiritism is able to put NDEs in context and explains in full what other people, through their experiences, have started to explore. There have been numerous stories about NDEs since mankind have been on Earth, but with the advent of the internet, the gathering and discussion of people's experiences have reached a new level. To the people visiting and writing about NDEs, their conception of the order of the universe and their place within it have undergone a transformation. The knowledge that they really have a soul and it lives beyond their physical body brings a whole new set of questions. These questions can be answered by Spiritism. Some of the recent NDE stories published on the site NDERF.org, which is the Near-Death Experience Research Foundation, underline the sense of otherworldliness and provides motivation to explore the sense of the universe in which our spirit lives. Here is one experience. While I was on the stretcher, I observed a very white light as a distance, which I was approaching. I was like floating in the air, writes Victorio from Argentina, published in March of 2014. He goes on to describe, this unfolding of pictures and gaps developed and progressed continuously, presenting a constant, delicate, consequential line in perfect order, a chain of events, yet somehow they were all happening at once. The past, the present, and the future were all happening at once. It was inspiring to witness the order and sense that all these little pictures seemed to have had in the big picture. I felt a lot of compassion. I was all forgiven. In fact, there was nothing to forgive. I could see that my life had perfect order to it. In some way, it was like watching a mathematical equation or sum that makes perfect sense. Such events create this kind of result. It was a simple portrayal of natural cause and effect with gentle understanding. So writes Victorio. People experiencing NDEs write about meeting spirits and communicating with deceased family members. As Fabio from Italy says, he said, I feel a presence sometime, something, I can't explain it. I saw nothing and heard no word. Nevertheless, I suddenly realized that the speaker had always been there and had followed me while I was in the tunnel, and somehow he had perhaps helped me to turn back. We began a silent dialogue, an immense and unconditional love, a flow of love. Who are these other beings, and how can we talk with family members long gone from Earth? Does our spirit only live once in a physical body, or do we truly travel through multiple lives? Many religions and individuals believe in the concept of reincarnation. Reincarnation provides a framework for the existence of an immortal soul and a reason why we are truly reborn. People who have no religious beliefs before, upon reviving from NDEs, have returned, accepting their soul to be immortal and that reincarnation is a necessary process for our quest to become a better and more loving individual. Kevin Williams, who works on the neardeath.com website, has compiled and quoted parts of a research paper by Amber Wells. In his article, he highlights the following. The majority of experiences mentioning learning or enlightenment as the main purpose underlying reincarnation. Here are some comments by experiencers. The spirit needs to embody itself in matter to experience it and learn. These are karmic patterns to learn lessons and to work spirit in matter. Another quote, life itself is a series of learnings. The lessons are universal and the two most important being truth and forgiveness. One more quote, we progress at our own rate to reach the light. If you do things that take you away from the light, then you are perpetuating your time here. And lastly, the inner quality is there. The inner self remains, but the external aspect that may have seemed very strong is dissolved. Individuality wasn't the same there. It was the same as everybody, and everybody was me. Your spirit is always you. You are not the personality that you are on Earth. In the other realm, you are everything. Light is everything. The findings and comments above are all explained by the doctrines of Spiritism. The people who have traveled through an NDE knew what they experienced, but now they have a name for the entire construct of the universe in which they entered for that brief period of time. So what is Spiritism? Spiritism explains why we are here on Earth, the causes of why we must live through good and bad times, and provides the basis behind the reasons why we travel through successive lives. Spiritism was presented to us by the spirit world so we here on earth may perfect ourselves to prepare the earth to reach a higher plane of existence, while at the same time to improve our capacity to love one another. In Allan Kardec's book, The Founder of Spiritism, Heaven and Hell, an evocation is being held at a mortuary chamber on April 23, 1862. The participants are communicating with Mr. Sanson, who is a member of the Parisian Spiritist Society. He died on April 21, 1862. He had spent a year in suffering before his death, and he expressed the wish to be communicated with after his death. Here are some of the excerpts. Did you retain your awareness up to the last instance? Yes, my spirit retains its faculties. I no longer saw, I foresaw. My entire life unfolded within my memory. In my last remembrance, my dying request was to be able to communicate with you as I am doing now. I next asked God to watch over you so that the dream of my life could be fulfilled. Next question. Were you conscious at the moment in which your body breathed its last? What happened to you at that time? What sensations did you feel? He answered, life expires and sight, or rather the spirit's sight, darkens. You find yourself in the void, the unknown, and then as if carried by an unknown power, you find yourself in a world where all is joy and wonder. I no longer felt anything, nor was I sure about what was occurring. Nevertheless, an ineffable happiness surrounded me, and I no longer felt the grip of pain. Explore how Spiritism explains the phenomenon of going over to the other side, the real world. In my 2 books about near-death experiences, my first book is What Really Happens During Near-Death Experiences. It will take you through 12 NDEs and explain what the spirit world was trying to show them and what lessons they were trying to impart. My second book, The Spirit World Talks to Us. It exposes the fact that the spirit world is talking to us, each and every one of us. Most of us unaware of the subtle signs and soft voices that draw us to listen to our conscience. But they are there, ever hopeful that we may discover the truth about our sojourn on this blue planet. Occasionally, some of us are drawn up and out and given detailed information, and in some cases, instructions. Spirit mentors, people like us, but now on the other side, the reality, are pulling for a successful education in the campus of Earth. These lucky few are given a timeout. They were summoned from the classroom and given a dose of their true state, who they are, why they are here, what they are supposed to learn, and in some cases, their specific mission. The spirit world, led by the Supreme Intelligence, the Divinity, God, or the Matrix, whatever name you wish to call it, is guiding us actively, precisely, with compassion and love. The spirit realm fully realizes our newfound methods of social interaction and expects those who are exposed to the revelations to share them. The 12 experiences in this book, The Spirit World Talks to Us, not only unalterably changed those who lived them, but brought back knowledge for all of us. The experiences reviewed in this book lay out exciting disclosures about the spirit world and ours. We are told about heaven, the different spiritual zones around the earth, how karma is real, and why we need multiple lives to learn to become a person who radiates love in all circumstances. We learn that the concept of time is different in the spirit universe and about the basic building blocks of all matter. In essence, the inquiries that you have had since you began questioning your place in the universe are answered by spirits interacting with the chosen few. God bless.